back at ultimately a successful night, wasn't it? Qualification for the knockout rounds of the Champions League. But yeah, it didn't always seem that way, didn't it? But we have to be philosophical, I think. Obviously, a lot of knee-jerk reactions to this game last night, but let's take the positives if we can. We're talking FC Copenhagen 0, Manchester City 0. Champions League Group G, match day 4, Tuesday the 11th of October. So we'll have our little talking points. So we're 1 or 2, certainly the first half. We'll have that, match report, stats and facts, of course. But please, before we start, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you on board. Push that bell notification. All these vlogs are coming out. I do all City, past, present and forever, of course. So lots of history stuff, lots of current stuff as the games come thick and fast as well. So if you could jump on board and join me and spread the word, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Leave all your comments, anything about this game, anything about City. It'd be great to hear from you guys as well as all the regular ones who come on and make some good comments, actually, some good positive comments and some funny comments. And that's what we try and be as well. We try and be funny at times, which, cheer, because that's what City fans are like. We have a good sense of humour. Please, you can give us a thumbs up as well. It'd be much appreciated. Right, 5 changes to our Southampton game as far as team is concerned. And when I'm pretty much working on that basis when I do my starting 11s, that we're going to change 5 every game. Copenhagen themselves made 4 changes to the game at the Etihad last week, so that was interesting. Our team 11, our 11: Ederson, Cancelo, Akanji, Laporte, Gomez, Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Mahrez, Alvarez and Grealish. Yes, I got 9 right. I'm quite happy with that. The surprises for me, possibly Mahrez was a bit of a surprise, and possibly Laporte was a surprise as well. But apart from that, pretty much what a lot of us were thinking. On the subs bench, rested, I would say, certainly rested on the subs bench. I'd probably say definitely Aki, Haaland, Bernardo and Foden for a certain game coming up, but also on the subs bench, Ortega, Carson, Diaz, Palmer, Lewis and Wilson Esbrand. And the ref was Arta Diaz, who needed a bit of help from VAR. And on VAR, I think we had Coco the Clown last night on VAR in respect to UEFA. The match report itself, 4 minutes. Mr. Ederson, I don't know, he had one of those games last night where he didn't seem to quite tuned in. And obviously, it didn't get much better in that first half for City, did it? I mean, a couple of players tuned out and tuned in, but he gave away a pretty dodgy corner on 4 minutes where he literally had been stood about 3 yards more to his left. He would have scored an own goal, but fortunately, because he wasn't 3 yards to his left, we got away with it. We had to give a corner. Perhaps he would have done something different if he was a bit further over, so you can't really say. But we got away with it. 7 minutes, City break. I think this gives us a clue as to the referee and linesman and VAR situation tonight. A City break. Alvarez seems to get a great shot in, and the goalie appears to get something on it, and it seemingly goes for a corner, but a goal kick is given. So I think that just sort of set the trend for the game. And 11 minutes, even worse, and outrageous. I had my meme, I had my little picture. I was digging it out of the file. An outrageous Rodri's rocket into the top corner, ruled out for an accidental handball by Mahrez in the build-up. And in all, this is the rules they changed that rule. We had it, if you remember the obviously horrible Tottenham game. They changed the rule the season after, so something like that didn't matter. It was a goal. And I'm sure I've read last night that, according to the rules, it was a perfectly good goal. It shouldn't have been ruled out. So I expect a letter from UEFA to be winging its way to the Etihad to apologise, although obviously perhaps the Royal Mail will lose it on the way. But that just set it up. That just sort of summed it all up. And then 14 minutes later, Gundogan tries to bring out his inner Rodri's rocket, but he hits the lights on the stand roof, I think, with his effort. 19 minutes again, Ederson, turned off again. A little bit of poor distribution, and the ball ended up very quickly coming back towards him, and he managed to get a shot tipped over the bar for a corner. So a little bit grateful for that one. He also had the thing, I'm not sure of the minute in the first half, where Ederson literally, the corner came in, and he literally punched it out from about a foot off the ground, which, you need some strength to do that. But why hadn't it been allowed to get there in the first place? Very, very odd. 22 minutes, KDB had a shot Going goalwards was deflected over by the defender. And 24 minutes, yeah, again, VAR was for us this time, but still a ridiculous decision. A handball again, very dubious in the box. But what do we get? We get Mahrez. Now, I said last week against Copenhagen at City, when Mahrez took that penalty, if the if the keeper had chose the right way, he would have saved it. But he didn't last week. He went the wrong way. So what does Mahrez do this week? He sticks in exactly the same spot that he stuck it last week. The goalkeeper this time decides, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll go the left. I'll go to my right this time, and he saves it. Awful penalty for Mahrez. Exactly the same as last week. We got away with it last week because the goalkeeper decided to go the wrong way. We didn't get away with it this week. And as I say, the trouble is Haaland wasn't on the pitch, so it's always going to be Mahrez anyway. But I don't want him as our main penalty taker from now on. Just not good enough. As I say, he had a phase where he was putting him in the top corners, and that was superb, top bins. But he's certainly his last two, as I said, last week it could have easily been saved, and this week, what did Mahrez didn't learn anything from it, but Copenhagen certainly did. 28 minutes. Yeah, another interesting one, isn't it? I mean, play continues as Alvarez ends up being on the attack and shoots weakly, but it's dragged back to an incident up the other end. And this is where the referee was just waiting for VAR for me. He was not seeing things on the pitch rightly and wrongly. And a foul by Gomez, of course, on the edge of the box. Did the player link him as well as him linking the player? I don't think there was a definitive angle to tell you, apart from the angle that looked as though Gomez had fouled him. So you had to give it. There's no other option. It's a foul on the edge of the box, and Gomez has to go. He's the last player. A lot of stick for Gomez and a lot of sticking up for Gomez. We'll talk about him in the summing up later on. But it's got to be a free kick and it's got to be a red card. And I've said it before, Pep teams with 10 men don't win many games. I'm struggling to find. We take leads. We could go a couple of goals up with 10 men, but we can't keep it up for 90-odd minutes. And I did worry the fact that I did say on Twitter that we don't win games with 10 men under Pep. And unfortunately it came true, but at least we got the draw, which is what mattered. So anyways, on 33 minutes, Mahrez was sacrificed. Thankfully, to a lot of City fans' joy as Diaz came on. Half-time 0-0. Yeah, the second half we're not going to go into too detail. 51 minutes, KDB had a curl. KDB had a quiet night last night. But it was a nice height for the keeper to easily palm out when he perhaps could have caught it. He's an over-dramatic keeper, that one. I've said it before. 57 minutes, good play by Grealish, who again got a lot of stick last night off fans. I thought in the first half he's the only one who looked half decent for City. But a good play by Grealish, but KDB, rather than trying to get it across, there wasn't many City players in the box anyway. Goals for goal, and it's the side netting. 73 minutes, yeah, little sighs of relief that Copenhagen don't have a Haaland-type striker because he flashed the ball across the box. And the striker up front just couldn't reach it with his outstretched leg. And it certainly would have been a goal if he got anything on it, but fortunately, he doesn't have the robotic legs of Mr. Haaland, so we escaped with that one, and that was possibly their best chance of the night, 73 minutes. 77 minutes, well, apart from Edison trying to give him a couple. 77 minutes, Bernardo and Foden came on, KDB and Grealish off. But, by the way, Bernardo and Foden were knackered, so that's why Pep brought them on. 84 minutes, Cancelo draws a save, but a poor header from Alvarez from the resulting corner goes well over. I think he was on his at the back. He's only about 5'5" anyway, isn't he? So you can't hold it against him too much. 88 minutes, Aki for Laporte. 90 minutes, an effort for Copenhagen. Always going wide of the post. A left foot shot that was always covered by Edison. And 92 minutes, yeah, a yellow for a foul by Diaz. Yeah, a bit unnecessary with just a minute to go. Might come back and haunt us later. And 93 minutes, a Gundogan attempt again. Just turns into a back pass for the keeper. Match stats, Copenhagen 6 shots, 1 on target. City 14 shots, 4 on target. Possession 59% for City. Passes 445 for Copenhagen, 635 for City. Accuracy 90% for City, which is fine. Copenhagen with a reputable 84%. That's not too bad for them. 13 fouls by them, 6 by us. 2 yellows for them, 1 for us and 1 red, of course, and offsides, 1 for them, 2 for us. Yeah, I can't remember them too much. Corners, 4 for them and 8 for us. XG philosophy, it's all to do with goals, isn't it? I thought this would be 0-0. That's how much I know about it's XG thing. It's expected goals, isn't it? So if it's a 0-0 draw, you still have it. Copenhagen was 0.28 and City was 1.56. So my thanks to XG philosophy at XG philosophy for those stats. And there you go, really. I've no real. There are a couple of little, not records, but a couple of little interesting things like Copenhagen have failed to score against English teams in blah, 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 but nothing overly exciting, so I'll leave that. And decisions, just very briefly. As I said, on the bench, rested for the Liverpool game, surely was perhaps. Now it's Gomez, isn't it? I said I'd come back to Gomez, didn't I? Pep will probably put his arm around Gomez. But I don't really think he'll play him at Anfield. I don't, he's made a mistake. It's as simple as that. He's 22. He's not been playing with City, the system, very long. He got caught the wrong side. And I think we just move on. And I think Pep will move on, but I think he might take him out the firing line for Anfield. So if you've got Diaz and Aki on the bench, I think both of those could end up playing this week, but more on that in the preview show, of course, of the Liverpool game. But we're not going to have too much of a downer on Gomez. The guy's definitely going to start. Obviously, Bernardo and Foden did come on for a few minutes last night, even though they were tired. But Haaland, Bernardo and Foden are definitely off that bench to start. So of that 11, let's say who is guaranteed to start again. Well, I'm not going to think of it like that. I'm going to say who won't start of that 11, and we'll talk about it in the Liverpool preview. Who won't start for me? And I don't think Gomez will start, only for the reasons I've just given. I think Pep will just put his arm around his shoulder and say, look, it doesn't matter. We move on. But I think it's a bit too much of a toughy game to put Gomez back in to get his confidence back up again. There's far easier games to come. We can keep Gomez moving along. So, yeah, that's the only reason I don't think he will start. And the other guy who definitely won't start for me, and I don't think he would have probably started whether he had a cracking game last night or not, was Mahrez. He's the only other. He's definite that he won't start. So there you go. That's my little thoughts. Obviously, there's plenty to go at in the preview show as to who is going to start this game. Of course, we'll hear from Pep on Friday. As long as everyone seems fit, everyone seems okay that was there and on the bench last night. So please check out my preview show for the Liverpool game. Let me know your thoughts on last night. Let me know your comments. It'd be great to hear from you. And of course, check out that player ratings show that we've done as well there with Tyrone Marshall for the Manchester Evening News. Doing his scores, interesting scores, but I say it's not too much travel, not high scores, but it was enough, wasn't it? At the end of the day, it was enough. You have to be philosophical about it. No, it wasn't the greatest preparation for Anfield. We've lost a little bit of that invincibility cloak that we had, and I think that's probably right. But it's up to us to get it back again, isn't it? And check out my Liverpool preview show, as I said. Well, I'll give you my starting 11. And the odds show as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Bye for now.